5 Meet the Team meeting. So we've got to stand here because of microphone so you can hear me. My name is Miss Smith and Kyla Smith. I am head of Year 5. So as much as your children might not be in my class, they might be with other teachers who I will let introduce themselves to you shortly. If you do have any concerns, you can always email me and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible as well. So here are our Year 5 team. As I said, I'm going to be teaching 5C and I'm also head of Year 5, and I will allow the other teachers to introduce themselves to you now as well. So if we start with 5A.
Hi everybody, I'm Miss Clark. I teach in 5A. Hello. Hi, yeah, come in. It's okay, don't worry. I've been teaching at the academy now. This is my 6th year, so I've been here a very long time. And I also am in charge of student leadership, and there's a lot of leadership roles within Year 5, and I'll talk about that a little bit more later. Okay, Mr. Rogalski?
Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Rogalski. I'm the 5B teacher. I'm new to Dubai and new to the school as well, but I've been teaching in the UK for 11 years.
Oh, I will introduce myself. Sorry. 5D at the moment. I don't know if anyone in here has children in 5D. So we do have a long-term maternity cover. She has started yesterday. Her name is Ragda Al Said. Unfortunately, she can't be with us today, but you will get an opportunity to meet her shortly. And then at Christmas, Miss Boyd will come back off of maternity leave and resume duties with the class from then on. So if you do have any concerns or any questions about that, feel free to come and speak to me at the end and I can give you some updates. Okay, and then 5E.
Hello everyone, have I got any parents from 5E in the room? No? Okay, good start. I'm Miss Ward. I'm not your child's class teacher, but I am the head of primary English. So if you do have any English related questions as well, I'll obviously be here to help. For those of you that are at home from 5E, I'm Miss Ward.
Hi, I am Miss Sophia. I can see some of my parents in there, so hello to anyone that's at home as well. As I'm sure a few of you know by now, I'm new to Dubai, new to the school. I've been teaching for the last 5 years in an international school in Spain and for 4 years in the UK before that. And I look forward to getting to know you better. Thank you.
Hello everybody, I am Mr. Kirby. I'm last on the list, but hopefully not least. But save the best till last, that's correct. I'm the 5G teacher. I'm very new to Dubai. I've only been here a couple of weeks. And I'm really excited to kind of be on this journey with you all. And if you need me kind of on the main corridor at the back, just come and say hello. Any questions at all, I'll be happy to ask. Thank you.
Okay, so each of the teachers are going to introduce you to a little bit about the academy individually. But before we get started, oh, sorry, we have got our TAs as well. This is our teaching assistant team. We have a very new team in Year 5, but with lots and lots of experience. So they might be new to the academy or new to the school or new to our year group, but they've all got bundles of experience. We've got Ms. Denali, who is going to be teaching assistant across 5A and 5B. I have got a TA coming at the end of September. I can't remember her name. Do you know her name? Sorry, Mr. Cooper. No, I can't remember her name, sorry. We've got Miss Natasha, who has got a wealth of experience in Year 5. She's worked in Year 5 for, I think, about the last 11 years. So she knows the curriculum inside out, knows the children, knows what we're doing. She is absolutely fantastic. And she will be working across 5D and 5G. And we've got Miss Sarah, who has also been with the Academy for many years, working in different age groups. She will be working alongside 5E and 5F. So as well as the teacher, you do have an extra adult in the room, which will be the teaching assistant, which you can speak to at any point as well. A few just general housekeeping bits of information that we'd like to share with you, especially if you're new to the academy. Feel free to take screenshots, but this PowerPoint will be shared with you as well. For uniform, we are a Dress for Success school. We like to prepare the children for the big wide world. We encourage them to be dressed appropriately, dressed smart at all times. We encourage shirts tucked in, ties on, full school uniform, and we feel that when children are dressed ready for the school day mentally, they are prepared for it as well, and they just approach their lessons with a little bit more vigor and professionalism. On their children's school days, PE school days, every day's a school day, on their PE days, they can come into school in their PE kits. That is on PE days and on swimming days. Okay, both days they can come to school in their PE kit. On swimming days, we ask that they only wear their costumes underneath their uniform if they have swimming first period. It can get very uncomfortable, especially if they need to go to the toilet and things like that. So if they can bring their swimming clothes to change into, they will have the opportunity to do that down in PE. But if they have swimming first period, then they can come in with it in under their PE kit also. Swimming in primary school is mixed gender, so the boys and girls will swim together in their class, and they will have separate changing rooms though, obviously. Okay, and we do have male and female members of PE staff as well, so they'll be allocated accordingly. As you can imagine, children in year 5, things do still go missing quite a lot. Children are always misplacing things, especially as they are moving around the school for different specialist lessons, French, Spanish, music, PE. Things can get lost in any number of locations. So if the children's name and class number, 5A, 5B, can be labelled on their uniform, it just helps us to ensure that the correct uniform can get back to them as soon as possible. We obviously, with the weather in Dubai at the moment, it can be very, very warm. We aim to get the children outside as much as possible, because obviously for them, they need to run around, they need to release that energy. So if you can ensure they've got hats in school every day and water bottles, please, that will enable us to get them outside as much as possible. Attendance needs to be reported to absence WEC email, which you can see up here on the board, by 7:30. And if you can also copy in the class teacher as well, that would be very useful for us when we're doing the registers, just so that we're aware of who's going to be in school that day. So both absence WEC and the class teacher, please, if possible, by 7:30. We are dealing with the road situation at the moment. We have hopefully got the go-ahead for a new road. We know that traffic is a nightmare, so obviously just please try and prepare for that when you come in your journey in the morning and collecting in the evening. We do have a soft start, which means the children can arrive anytime between 7:15 and 8 o'clock, but obviously that's a good 45 minutes of learning time, extra learning time, if they can get in as early as possible, that we can do interventions and put in some extra things in place for them, extra subjects and extra learning in place. If you can get them in as early as possible, that would be great. Medical issues need to be reported to our school doctor. I think most of the forms have been done and are being collated, but if anything does arise throughout the year, please do let our medical clinic team know. And if your child comes on the bus or goes home on the bus and they are not travelling on the bus that day, please do let us know by 11 o'clock so that we can get them off the relevant lists and make sure there's no confusion with children going home. They need to be outside at the end of the day. We can ensure that happens.
Sorry, inform the absence on the bus by email?
Yes, please, by email to the class teacher. And if you can, there's an email at the end that will come up on the screen. You also need to copy in STS. Yeah, thank you. Those as well. But again, if you let us both know, that's really handy. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, PE kit on both swimming days and PE days. No, unfortunately, that's out of our control at the moment. Well, we've been told 2 weeks, but this is Dubai. So things don't always happen on time. Okay, that's out of our control, unfortunately. Okay, I'm going to pass over to Miss Sophia, who's going to talk to you about the timings of the school day.
Thank you very much.
Well, Miss Smith has just mentioned, obviously, school is open for the children to come in from 7:15 through to 7:50, which is our registration time. It does give valuable opportunities for, you know, extra learning, extra bits and bobs that can go on there, listening to reading, more opportunities. So if they can come in, that is lovely. Obviously 3 p.m. pickup. Most of you will know by now where we leave the children at the end of the day, where we pass them over to you, and 12 o'clock in the same place on a Friday. The buses Obviously, they arrive in school in plenty of time in the morning. If they're on the bus, the years 5 is on the bottom there. They leave school at 3:20 Monday to Thursday and leave by 12:15 on the Friday, and hopefully I then return to you in a sensible and timely fashion. Yeah, it's just really a little repetition of what Ms. Smith just said. Please, if your child is due to go on the bus but they're not for some reason that day, please email the class teacher, and there's an email here. But again, this will be sent to you, this PowerPoint, if you do need all that information. Yes, I think that's it on timings.
You can collect downstairs from P at 4:50. Yeah. No worries.
Extracurricular clubs, which are due to start
Usually 2 or 3 weeks time.
a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
3:10 until 4:10 pickup. Obviously, if the child is going to an extracurricular, you don't need to come at the 3 o'clock pickup. We will ensure they get to that club, and then your pickup time is 4:10 p.m.
That will be sent out to you shortly. You'll get a full list of all the ECAs.
How we know the activities in the afternoon?
Yes, of course. Usually 2 or 3 weeks. If you give us 2 or 3 weeks to get all the clubs set up. Paid ECAs, I believe, are starting. Yeah, the list hasn't been created yet. That's what I'm saying. It'll be out in the next couple of weeks, and then you can sign up to all of them. But they're always on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, if that helps. All right.
And
Lovely.
some timetable.
Thank you very much. Now, you should have all seen the timetable before, and if you have any questions, you haven't? Okay.
Are you 5D? I will get that sent out to you tonight. Yeah, don't worry. That's fine. I'll ensure that's sent out to you this evening.
Last email from you said Friday. Last Friday, nothing came from you.
Okay, I will send it out to you now. I promise you, you'll get that. No worries.
Apologies for that. I will just kind of do a whistle-top tour, sorry. So the lessons in green are the lessons that the children go for specialist subjects. So they have a specialist teacher in those subjects. And obviously, if you have any questions to do with the timetable, please just feel free to email your teachers, and they will be happy to email you back. As you can see, that the children are very busy during the day, and we kind of get them into their routines at the moment, so they know where to go and who they are going to see. I'm conscious of the time, so I won't talk too much about the timetable, but
it's just important as parents to know when they've got you, so you know which days they can in that weekend.
And library.
And the library. Yes.
and the library for the books.
So this is actually my class timetable. Everybody's is very similar, but obviously PE days and specialists happen on different days. But we all have the same amount of subjects. Sorry?
The subjects are exactly the same. It's just might be in a different order on a different day.
No.
Excuse me.
So actually we do art as part of our theme lesson. So we're all follow the national curriculum. It's not a specialist subject that we do in this school in primary. They do get the opportunity to do that in secondary. They have specialist art subjects, but the minute we cover that as part of our theme curriculum. Yes.
Last week, we got an email from the teacher, and it mentioned along with the uniforms to carry some bag. I was not sure what the bag was wearing.
Can I allow Miss Ford to answer that question too with you at the end? Yeah, just so that we can get through, and I'll ensure that Miss Ford can speak to you about that outside when we finish. Thank you.
So the theme classes are the classes chosen by us, or?
So at the minute, our theme is the ancient Greeks. So all of the lessons in theme encompass history, geography, moral, social, cultural studies, art, DT, but it's all around the topic of the ancient Greeks. So it just creates like a fun, creative curriculum for the children.
So they are set by the school.
It's set by the
It's the
national curriculum standards, yeah. But then we tie it all in. We make them all linked to the ancient Greeks.
So you will provide more information about these.
Yeah, I'm going to explain a little bit more about that in a moment.
Okay, as Ms. Smith mentioned, we have a real big push on the Dress for Success, and we have these daily awards for children to to encourage them to dress really well for school, ready to learn. The uniform information went out on the welcome email, but just a few pointers here. Please no trolley bags for health and safety reasons. The WEC rucksack is a non-negotiable item, and we encourage the children to have a book bag, which I think that might be what you were talking about a few minutes ago. Yeah, that's just to make sure, you know, library books are kept really neat and tidy and encourage children to read. Uniform items can be bought at the thread stores, which are all across Dubai. Google them online. Okay.
I'm going to allow Miss Ford to answer that question at the end. Yeah, thank you.
So these are all the non-negotiable bags that we'd expect in school. Okay, then this is the PE kits as well. Again, it's on the welcome email too. So there's different types you can buy. Again, all available at the thread stores.
And the colours are linked to their houses, so whichever house they're in, so from pearl or by the white one, emerald green, onyx black, and ruby the red.
George will know what house they're in.
I just literally spoke about this. Houses we have. Oh yes. Yeah, so we have the 4 houses. The children who have been here or at WPS before will know we've got pearl, onyx, ruby, and emerald, and each child is placed in a house. And then within that house, they will earn house points, whether that's for good working class, in a specialist, walking around school, anything that we think they'll deserve a dojo or a house point for, they will all be added up. And then at the end of each half term, there'll be a reward, or every term actually. So for example, if Pearl out of the whole of primary get the most house points, they might have a dress down day, they might have a cinema day, just depends on what we can fit in at the time. Also with the houses, just go on to the next slide. Oh, here they link very well to our HPL, so our high performance learning. So we try and link them directly to being hardworking, being empathetic, all of those. And we have the Year 5 house captains who represent the whole school, and they will be chosen in the coming weeks. And they will do things like collect the house points, run house competitions, so that all the houses can gain more house points. So for example, it might be they might do a WEC's Got Talent or something like that, and then each person who enters WEC's Got Talent will then perform for their house. Whoever wins will get an extra however many house points. So it just creates a little bit of fun, as well as all the sort of the expectations, the behaviour that they get the points for as well. And then we get the rewards day per term. So I was just talking about house captains. So house captains is one of our student leadership strands. And as we go into the rest of Year 5, we do have a lot of opportunities for more leadership. So we have the student council. So that was going to be 1 per 2 classes this year, because the school's grown so much. We're going to have 1 per 2 classes. And they will obviously go to meetings. They will be the voice of the Year 5 children. Okay. And then we've got eco warriors, the house captains, wellbeing champions, sports leaders, the young philanthropists, which is based around sort of community and charity. So children will be nominated for that and then work towards those goals within our school community and the wider community. And we have classroom monitors, which means that every child throughout the year will at some point get to be some form of leader, whether that is a book leader, where they, you know, give out books, tidy the bookshelf, make sure that everything is lovely on their table. If they're table monitor, they might be the healthy snack monitor. There's loads of roles within the classroom as well. So it's not just these external roles that are whole school, it's also in the classroom, and it's embedded really well. We also have playground prefects. So when children go out to play, we'll have sort of leaders who will look after the equipment, who will make sure that everything is tidy, there's no litter, all sorts of things like that, basically getting them ready for the wider community and making sure that they're empathetic leaders ready to, you know, go into the wider world and take those qualities with them. And then junior librarians, which we had last year for the first time, which worked really well. So if your children like to read or they like to be in the library, that's a great opportunity for them to run library competitions and to also look after the books, tidy the books, show children how to use the book system and take books out. And then new this year, I'm sure as you'll agree, iPads technology is ever growing in this day and age. And we think it's really important this year that we introduce digital leaders. So we make sure that we have that safety as well, and that the children know directly from their peers how to be safe online. And again, how to look after their iPads, how to look after the computers and all sorts of things like that. And that'll be run by our head of computing, Miss Leatherbarrow. And then the most exciting thing often is the elections for head boy, head girl and prefects, which happens in term 3. So it's not yet, but if your child is that sort of model pupil, we will be pushing them this year to go for head boy and head girl of year 6. And that process starts in term 3. But there's no harm in prepping them ready now and, you know, sort of getting them ready to apply for that role, sort of doing those extracurricular things, because they'll be all noticed when they do their application. And then those that don't get the head boy and head girl role will be filtered out to be prefects. So yeah, that's a very exciting time. So I'll just pass over to Miss Smith, who's going to talk about our curriculum.
Okay, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this because I'm conscious we've got lots to get through. But as I was explaining to you earlier, we follow the British National Curriculum, which is broken down into all of the core subjects: geography, history, we've got art, DT, computing, STEAM, all of these exciting subjects. And there's just not enough hours in the day to get each one in individually. So what we do is we develop a creative curriculum that encompasses all of these national curriculum objectives through one overriding theme. Now, our theme for the first topic is the ancient Greeks in ancient times. We are also developing student agency, social enterprise skills, and the sustainable development goals. So we've got lots of things to get in there. And our sustainable development goal for this term is going to be quality education. So that links quite nicely in with the Greeks, as they were some of the first scholars in ancient times. So as I said, we get all of that. This curriculum overview is going to be sent out to you guys on Friday for you to have a deeper look at. If you then have any questions based on this curriculum overview or how you can support your child at home, please feel free to email myself or one of your class teachers. But yeah, that just breaks down everything that we're going to be doing up until the winter break. After the winter break, we will change theme. We go into Night at the Museum, and then in term 3, we've got another different theme as well. Different sustainable development goal, different social enterprise skills. So we'll try and cover it all across the year as it goes on. As you probably know, we are a bring your own device school. We use lots of different apps, lots of different learning platforms to support your children's learning in class. They are an invaluable tool. So please make sure that your child has their iPad or their device in school with them every day. They also need to be on 100% charge. Lots of children are coming in with just 20% charge, and then like after the first lesson, they then can't use it throughout the day. We do have iPad charging trolleys, but they're not up and running just yet. That is something we're aiming to get as it goes on, but it's still an inconvenience if they can't use it for that lesson because it needs to go out and be on charge. So if they can start the day with 100% charge, that would be really useful. Children also need to have a set of headphones in school. Lots of the learning apps play videos, have explanations that the children can listen to, and obviously they might not be working on the same thing as the child sitting next to them. So if they can have a headphone on, it just enables them to concentrate and not disturb the children around them. They only are used for educational purposes. They go away at lunchtime. They're not allowed to play on them. They're not allowed to play games. We would ask that you don't use them as a tool to message your children during the day, because again, that can be disruptive and distracting for them. If you've got any communication, please send it to us and we can filter it through to your children to avoid them. Once parents start messaging, they then try and message each other and things like that. We want to stamp that out straight away and make sure they're only used for educational purposes. One last little request. If English is not your native language at home, it is essential that your child's iPad is set up in English. The language needs to be in English throughout the day. We are trying to help them. If they have any technical issues, any complications, and they come to us and it's in Russian or it's in Arabic, we can't help them. We can't support them to set up their apps and their devices properly. So please ensure that they are set up in English so that we can support them in school with that. Learning ladders. Learning ladders, again, is linked to the British curriculum. All of the national curriculum objectives are on learning ladders. So once you get that curriculum overview, once you've logged into learning ladders, it will really clearly marry up where we're getting these lessons from, why we're picking them. So you'll be able to see the national curriculum objectives for geography, for history, for moral social studies, for DT, and you'll be able to see how your child is doing on that and how we're making that fit within their theme lessons. Miss Balboa, she has the admin, so if you haven't been sent that login already, she's the person to contact so that you can get that. These are updated continuously throughout the term, but you will receive a termly report at the end of each term based on what the teacher inputs into learning ladders also. Sentry. Sentry is one of the brilliant devices, the apps that we use on the children's device. Your children should have all received their login now. We set lots of home learning, we set interventions, we set early work on Sentry, and it's a really clever artificial intelligence tool program that will continuously update and set your children its own learning program according to their needs. So if you can really encourage your children to work on their pathway, if ever you think, oh, what can I support my child with at home? If you log on to Sentry, they have a pathway. That is what your child needs to work on based on things that they have already done in school. So it's a really useful tool for us and for you to be able to support your child at home. Any more questions on that, then you can contact us. Yeah.
And home, just scan that and then it'll bring you up onto the Padlet page where all the home learning will be, any information from specialists, anything like that, timetables, etc.
Through Sentry.
Actually the information regarding the success of the student will know only via the link.
For learning ladders, yeah. And through Sentry, you'll be able to see their results and things like that on Sentry, which give you a clear indication as well. So would you say questions to the end? We've really got to get through because we've got the next ones waiting, but we'll happily step outside and answer any questions that you've got at the end. Sorry, Miss Ford for reading.
Hi guys, I am just here to talk to you about the importance of reading at home, reading to learn, reading for enjoyment. So you will have probably seen your child come home with one of these. They'll also have brought home a library book. And within the next couple of days, they'll probably be bringing home another home reading book as well. It's really, really important, even in year 5, that you are doing daily reading with your children, giving them a chance to read aloud, practice their reading fluency and develop their oral their comprehension skills. Not only does reading help us to learn in all different subjects, it helps us relax, it takes us to a different world, and it's a form of sort of escapism. So we recommend that every child reads for at least 20 minutes per day. I would really hammer that in now. Get yourselves a routine with your children before bed, before dinner, when you can. Particularly if they are a child who is learning English, it will be essential that they are doing as much reading practice as they can, because it will help them in every other subject. If they don't read, they won't be able to access the learning as well as if they can. So we recommend 20 minutes per day. Now, a child that reads for 20 minutes per day only over the course of the year will be exposed to 1.8 million words. Now, we as teachers can't teach them those 1.8 million words, but by reading, they pick up new vocabulary, they learn new vocabulary, they can learn about the English grammatical structures, they put that into their heads and that can reflect in their writing. A child that reads for 5 minutes per day, in comparison, will only read 282,000 words. So that's quite a staggering difference. As for you guys, all of our levels of English are different. We've got some helpful things in the reading record to help you think about discussing text with your children. So we've got our reading strategies. So please take a little bit of time to just have a look at this. Reading strategies that we use across the whole of the curriculum. If our children are struggling to read a word, if they're not quite sure what something is asking them, these are the strategies that we use. And then something that would be really helpful to get your child talking about the text and even thinking on a deeper level about the text are these just question stems that you can ask your children. They can apply to any text type, and they're broken into vocabulary, retrieving things from the text, summarizing the text, inference, so linking, predicting, commenting, and then reading as a writer. Yeah, sorry. And then just recording your child's reading on a day-to-day basis in here. If you can, just a quick note. What's the name of the book? How many pages? Did you ask them any questions? And then just sign it, and we will be taking those in to monitor those. Just a quick poster. I'm not going to go through that because I've just said that. And then each week we celebrate reading. We want our children to love reading. We don't want it to be a chore, something that they hate. We don't want to force them to read. We want to kind of instill that reading is amazing. But we do celebrate children each week who have read the most words, the most quizzes taken, and our word millionaires, because we do appreciate that all children are at different levels and not all of us are reading chapter books with 30 pages. So it gives the children an opportunity to be on that leaderboard. Even if they're learning English as a second language, they might get the most quizzes taken because they're reading more regularly and they're changing their books more often. And the final thing I'm going to talk about is the useful apps and websites that will help your child with their learning. So Ms. Smith's already mentioned Century, which will be kind of the foundation of everything that we do. Cannot recommend Century highly enough because it's personalised to your child's learning. We use Seesaw to post work and to set work for our children. Timetable Rockstars, again, something that children will practice their times tables on, and that will underpin every other aspect of math. So that's quite important that they can retrieve those number facts very quickly. And we use Accelerated Reader, so your child will bring home a quiz book. And from that quiz book, once they've read it and they've discussed it with you, they can come into class and they can take a quiz just to get them practicing that retrieval and that comprehension. You happy for me just to whiz through? Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to whiz through the last few slides just to wrap it up because we have got year 6 waiting to come in. We would like you to encourage to follow our social media pages as much as possible. Really good opportunity if you want to know what's going on in the classroom. Follow these. We post very regularly, daily. We're aiming for something up there daily based on what the children are doing in school. So feel free to take a quick snapshot of those and follow the social media as well as the general school ones as well. Healthy eating, sorry, I'm just flying through. Healthy eating school, please make sure your children have got a healthy lunchbox. We all know what that constitutes. I don't need to teach you to suck eggs. Just make sure we're avoiding chocolate cakes, crisps, things like that. However, they are allowed a treat on a Tuesday for Treat Tuesday. Okay, but every other day if we can aim to have a healthy lunchbox. We have got school counsellors in school. If you have something to do with well-being or you're concerned about anything to do with mental health for yourselves, your family, your children, we have school counsellors. These are their contacts. Please contact them directly and they will be more than happy to support you with any concerns. If you've got a bereavement in the family or you're just worried about your child's friendship issues, things like that, obviously you can come to us, but we do have these dedicated professionals as well. Here are a list of contacts. Again, feel free to snapshot it, but it will be coming out to you of all of the important contact information that you might need in school. And finally, question time. We're going to move outside. If you have got any questions, you'd like to speak directly to your class teacher or any one of us in general, we're going to move outside to allow year 6 to come in and we'll happily hang around and answer those questions for you. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bringing this out and saying,
Yeah, just put the face there.